All right, man. Talk to talk. 6 o'clock. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? 6 o'clock show. How y'all doing? All right, so today we're gonna be talking about DJ Khaled getting played by Drake online. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into that, you know I gotta get my legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, you know where to find the ones that just don't harass me. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 13, 14, 15,000 subscribers. So, and I'm also the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. So let's get it, man. Let's do it. Get right to it. You know what it is. All right, man. This comes courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop. You know what it is. So let's get it.
Now, as this has been one of the worst weeks for Drake ever with everything going on in the music industry, it is no secret right now that Drake has never been more livid at the world, and with the hype around the Super Bowl and the outbursts that he has been having all throughout his new tour so far, it is very clear that Drake is only getting more angry at everything and during this all-time low that Drake is at. For the first time in a while, Drake has been not afraid to express his anger in full, because while when it's people like Kendrick Lamar or LeBron James even, he only sneak disses them because when he calls out someone like Kendrick directly, he has seen just how bad that has went for him. This time around, the person who has managed to anger Drake happens to be one of the few people in hip-hop and the entire music industry for that.
I'm still thinking about that, him walking out in that hoodie. And it's kind of like, I get it as a metaphor, but I mean, somebody said that he's glorifying gun violence. I don't know about that. Even if I said that, I probably take that back. I think what what Drake is doing is he's trying to keep things interesting because he has no leverage. There's nothing else he can do. He can't beat Kendrick in any other way. His numbers, if that's your only thing you have, that's what you stand on. But for Drake, that's not good enough. He has to be the better artist. I mean, at its core, Drake, he likes battle rap. You know what I'm saying? He likes battle rap. So at his core, he's a battle rapper as well. He's not one of those like Lux and all of them, but at his core, he's what that is. And I think he can't stand the fact that Kendrick is better than him. And I think that no matter how he tries to paint it or color it, is very difficult for him right now. He's going through a difficult stage in his life right now. Being on top of the world, and even if it's it's crazy being on top, and he's probably still up on top, but nobody takes you serious. That's worse than falling off to me. If you were at the top and nobody takes you serious, and you only living off your old hits, yeah, that's worse than falling off, in my opinion.
Matter that is even more pathetic than him. And now who I am of course talking about is none other than DJ Khaled. And now for Khaled, after trying to hype up his new album with the promise of 2 new Drake songs which Drake wasn't happy about at all, Khaled has now ended up canceling his new album as a whole directly because of what Drake has said to him. But now before we go any further into this,
how you cancel your whole album? You canceled your whole album because Drake said something to you? You niggas is y'all pathetic, man. The music industry, some of you dudes is pathetic, yo. Now, again, we don't know if that's the reason why he canceled his album, but if you did, you're pathetic. Khaled, you are pathetic. If you canceled your album because of Drake, you're pathetic, bro. You can't even, to me, I can't even take you serious as a actual DJ. You know what I'm saying? Disc jockey. I can't take you serious, disc jockey Khaled. I can't. I just can't do it.
sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with Khaled and Drake. After a time in hip hop where we saw the biggest beef ever, and from Kendrick to Drake and even other guys like Future, the lines in terms of where everyone stands in the genre have never been more divided and complicated. We are now seeing to the highest level just how far the effects are reaching of this beef, because now with DJ Khaled trying to release a new album, and of course, as Khaled can do nothing musically himself, his entire career and success relies on bringing together other rappers and artists to make these mega collaborations. Ultimately, with how bad the tensions are in rap, the release of Khaled's new album had to be cancelled nearly right after it was announced, because once again with DJ Khaled, he is managing to reach new lows and show just how pathetic and out of touch he is with everything but himself, because with Khaled's new album announcement, which featured a ridiculous trailer that was over 7 minutes long to roll it out, Khaled ended up creating so many problems in both the trailer itself.
Yo. He said the trailer was ridiculously long. Listen, bro, I watched a piece of the trailer. I watched like the first 10 seconds. I turned that joint off. Fast. Knocking the microphone over. That's how much I turned it off. Get out of here. Oh, man, I tell you, man. But look, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. You canceled your album because of this. Oh, man, we got to see what's going on with it. Let's go.
And with the captions he followed it up with. Because for some strange reason, Khaled just thinks that he can be the force to bring everyone together in this time, because from mentioning Jeg and the Black Album and maybe hinting at a feature from Hove, who has been on most Khaled albums in the past, to pretty much begging Rihanna for a feature, and then both in the ridiculously long caption and in the trailer saying he has 2 Drake records on this album, which he typed out to say that Drake is in the studio and back to work, so that means now that they are back together as well. All in all, with Khaled already teasing putting people together on this album who all themselves are not just at odds, but in the case of people like Drake and Jay and Drake and Rihanna have some serious beef, the presentation and optics of all of this already look so bad off rip. And now, especially because Khaled put this out into the world, and one of the biggest things he was hyping up is that him and Drake were going to be putting out new music, which again, he made it a priority to put both in the trailer and in all the captions. While before Drake was able to respond, his fans were excited about the fact that Drake was going to be working with someone who has some sort of a presence in the actual music industry, as this would be the first big artist to welcome back Drake after the downfall we have all seen. Before anything else could
I would tell you right now, this is my prediction. Outside of Future, maybe Future, I don't think Drake gonna work with none of these dudes no more. I think Drake is basically going to do his own thing, and he's not going to work with nobody for a while. And I think that people, a lot of people, they was scared to actually intervene to the battle. I think Drake is going to hold that against them too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like never. It's like the chance of seeing Kendrick and Drake work together is like never, ever again. You know what I'm saying? They haven't worked together for years, and they probably would never work together ever again. So that's not going to happen. But it's always going to be that dynamic between the two. But Khaled, I'll be honest with y'all, I never really liked Khaled like that. I just thought a lot of his projects was just, I mean, he gave us some singles that was pretty good, but overall, his stuff is, I mean, his albums are just like, what? Like, you're not even an artist, dog. Like, I guess, I don't know. He's a producer. I don't know what he does. I have no clue. DJ Khaled is like the most uninteresting character in the music industry to me of all time. Like, he really is. We the best. It's like, you've been saying that. He's been saying that for years, bro. We the best. Like, when you gonna switch it up? And it's like you've been saying this whole thing for the same thing. Another one. You've been saying this the same thing for 15 years now. We the best. It's like, bro, come on. Is that your handle? I don't know. Maybe it is.
materialized, Drake responded back to Khaled's over-the-top announcement. by saying that the Drake that must be featured on this album is Drake Bell, because it's definitely not him, which I'm not gonna lie was honestly pretty funny on Drake's end. And while after Drake did this at first, people thought he may have been kidding or leaning into the idea that he has been kicked out of industry circles like Khaled's, which as we have seen on his most recent tour, he is leaning into, despite the fact that this really isn't a joke and Drake has pretty much made everyone angry and done with him. No matter what people thought, very soon we quickly found out that Drake was not kidding and he was 100% serious about what he said, as Khaled ended up removing.
Who is Drake Bell? Who is that? Who's Drake Bell? Hey Siri, who is Drake Bell? Bruh. No, that was funny. Yo. Damn, Khaled, he got you, bro. It must be Drake Bell. And he added him too. Bro. God. Yo, that is hilarious.
Every single announcement and trailer he made about this new album, and as Khaled has went so silent and usually he is known for being loud and obnoxious in the most annoying ways, it was made very clear that this is no longer part of the rollout, and now this record has either been straight up cancelled, or because of what Drake said, it is at least being delayed, as the two songs that Khaled was most excited about seemingly have been erased. And so now with all of this situation is just wild, because seemingly with Drake responding to Khaled's claims by saying it must not be him who is on this record, and we know that this is serious because again, it made Khaled take down the entire post and announcement. Virtually what Drake has done is tell
Yo, he could tell he was in that joint. They don't take down the entire post. Bruh. Yo, that's crazy though. That's a savage move. And for Khaled to actually, you spent money on this whole trailer, bro. Man, listen, bro. A lot of you dudes are weak. Y'all so weak. Like y'all weak men. Y'all weak men. Like if Drake would have said it to me, I'd be like, you play if you want. That's what I would have said. You play if you want. I got 2 songs by you. Play if you want. They coming out. Play if you want. I'll release one as a single. That's what I would have said. Play if you want, dog. Like, y'all so, like, I don't understand it. And then on top of that, did you actually talk to Drake? Because what was you trying to accomplish by saying you got 2 songs by Drake? And maybe you did these songs a long time ago. Drake did these songs a long time ago. Don't even remember because he does so much stuff. So he probably don't even remember him doing the joints for you. And then he was saying, like, he said that, and somebody probably sent you a cease and desist or whatever. And he probably was like, dang, I can't even put these joints out. Maybe that was his next single. I don't know. But how could you, I don't know. How could you say you putting something out and not conversate with the person that's on the song? That doesn't make sense. You telling everybody you got 2 Drake songs coming, but then Drake basically saying, you ain't got no songs with me. It's like, what? Like, that's why I said, I don't get Khaled. I really don't.
Khaled that he will never work with him again, which has now managed to make nobody's favorite producer cancel his entire record that nobody ever asked for. And now when it comes to Drake doing this, it is showing us at least that some lyrics from his diss tracks have aged kind of okay, because he did say that he was no longer going to be giving out features after this beef. And now no matter how wrong Drake may have been to people like Future and Metro, or Kendrick for that matter, and no matter how bad he lost at the end of everything, for a clout chaser and wave rider like DJ Khaled, to now want to use Drake to hype your album up, and yet you were silent in the time where Drake could have used anyone with a presence in hip-hop especially to help him out and support him, and of course, as we all saw, Khaled did nothing. Even in this time where Drake has never looked worse, with what we are currently seeing and what just happened, we are seeing that for every big loser like Drake, there is always a bigger one that will come around when we least expect it, like Khaled. Because with what he is doing here, from the
He called him the bigger loser. Literally. He's Khaled the bigger loser. Yo, that's hilarious.
fact that you think a Drake feature in 2025 is worth something, to the fact that you were using him to prop up your album after you did nothing in this time where he just asked one person to help him out. No matter which angle you want to look at this from, to be so desperate for a Drake feature that you literally filmed a scene for your album trailer where you were talking about it, and then after Drake called you out, you canceled your entire album, as seemingly whatever desperate play you had to try and recruit Drake for this project did not work out as planned. Overall, this whole situation is reaching new levels of desperation, and in this time where Drake has been the biggest loser in rap, the fact that somebody in Khaled, of course, actually made him look like he has ground to stand on. I mean, for Khaled, this is just telling the world how washed you are and how even after everything in rap, from the sound to who you can work with together, has changed. The fact that you can't think of a single new thing to do and are still trying to get a hit from Drake, which even on your past albums before this beef, is something that has not worked out since the Major Key album with For Free, which was almost a decade ago. I mean, from every single way you can think about this situation possible, what was Khaled even expecting to get out of all of this? Because I mean, no matter how silent you try and stay and how you try to be friendly with everyone, from your connections or really past connections.
And some of these dudes, man, some of these dudes' houses be amazing, man. I mean, it's some of the stuff that's literally out of like some type of movie, man. And I'll be honest with you, if I ever become wealthy, rich, or anything with the sorts like that, I would never get a house like that. Never, because you would never be able to keep it. You get a house like that, and it's like, let's say you have something that's, I don't know, 35, 45 million. You know what I'm saying? You buy it for 45 million. The taxes on the land is going to be nuts. Every year, it's like $100,000, $200,000. Nah, I would rather have a bunch of houses all over the world that I could just fly to. Nice size, not nothing crazy big. Some of these, they be spending 50, 60, 100, $250 million on a home. You're crazy. You can't even visit your own home. Well, not visit, but you can't even explore your own home. The whole thing of it. You're one person inside of a mansion that is so big that it has 15 rooms and 3 kitchens. Like, come on, bro. Like, what's all that for? That's just me. I mean, some of y'all probably would want that. I don't. Yeah, I just think that some of the stuff just be over the top. Like, I'm talking like, and then what happens is they stop making music. They don't really recoup the money that they did, and they all broke. And then they gotta sell this stuff. You know what I'm saying? None of these dudes, from what I see, are rooted in investments. You know what I'm saying? They're not. I mean, some of them never go broke, but they will lose a lot of money. They're not rooted in investments. You know what I'm saying? I think they just think that this is gonna carry them for the rest of their life, and some of them it does. But for me, nah. I'm buying a whole bunch of land, and I'm opening supermarkets. I'm doing all types of stuff. Trust and believe that.
Because nobody wants to work with you at this point, with people like Jay, Rick Ross, Rihanna, to even Future, and then of course Drake. I mean, just from the optics, trying to use Drake and Rihanna as the lead features off your album, I'm sure it just made both of them never want to work with you again, because in the entire landscape of music and hip-hop, there are just so many beefs that not all of these people are going to want to run around together on your mid-album, especially in 2025. And if Drake is publicly saying that he is going to have nothing to do with this record and now Khaled has canceled the whole thing, I mean, the fact that Khaled put this into an official release and trailer, did this mean that Khaled just lied about ever having Drake songs and thought that Drake was so dead?
Bring that back. What? Hold up, bro. Hold up. Run that back a little bit. What? Wait a minute.
And now Khaled has canceled the whole thing? I mean, the fact that Khaled put this...
Bruh. What? What? Yo, what? Bruh. I gotta screenshot this. Oh, look at that, man. Oh my God, bro. Ew. God. I gotta screenshot that. That's for the thumbnail. Bro. I like what Drake. I don't get it, bro. I just don't. I don't understand you. I don't understand your artists, man. I really don't. I don't understand the saddles that y'all be pulling out. Y'all be bucking the Bronco with Drake. I don't get it, bro. I don't.
This into an official release and trailer. Did this mean that Khaled just lied about ever having Drake songs and thought that Drake was so desperate at this point to work with anybody that he would have just ran to his name? Or was Khaled sitting on tracks that he thought Drake would have just let him put out after not saying a single word in this time, where if you wanted to be Team Drake, you could have walked alongside people like Ak and Maul to become the biggest clowns in hip-hop, but you didn't. And I mean, either way you look at this situation from, at least you can say that Drake has finally found an equal match in this time where he has been leading the league in losses, because Khaled just embarrassed himself in every single way possible here, and is fully proving here that his time in the spotlight is over and that he is officially washed if you didn't think so already. Because to just shelve your album over the fact that Drake said he's not going to release 2 songs on it, I guess in the greater sense is putting into perspective for Khaled that the industry is not all happy making the same song over and over again while moving nothing forward like we saw on all of the other Khaled albums for years. And I mean, when you say that out loud and see what this really means, I guess it's a good thing that all this is happening for hip-hop and that Drake and Khaled are beefing, because for both of them, from Drake to Khaled, the energy these two bring to hip-hop at this point is just not needed, because in his own way, Khaled has been one of the biggest parts of all of the problems in hip-hop during the Drake era, and really, with all the forced industry friendships he has tried to push on each one of his albums and with all of his collabs, which just artistically did nothing to move anything.
Yeah, his albums be so mid. I mean, and you know the crazy thing is, I be watching. I used to watch a lot of videos, music videos, because I was into cinema photography, so I used to watch a lot of music videos. Most of Khaled music videos are 120 FPS frames per second, slow motion, and it's just so corny because there's no thought into it. It's like, let me stand in the rain with a girl behind me, where it's going in slow motion so you can see the raindrops on a Bentley. Like, that's so trash. That's so trash. No thought into any of this. It's just basically like, let's just see just put it out there. It's kind of like how it was back in the day when they used to do music videos with a bunch of girls in a music video. There was one music video, though, to me, I still think it's the greatest music video ever created with girls, I'm saying. The 112 video, when it was in all white. Yeah, that's probably the best music video I've ever seen when it comes to women. And I know there was some other ones, but that's my favorite one. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the name of the song. But yeah, like he's just like, I don't know. Some of these dudes' videos, they just be over the top. It just look corny. Just a bunch of expensive shit in the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, no type of thought process put into the video. Just, let me just do this real quick. It's just stupid.
Forward as well. Overall, Khaled was such a big part of creating and pushing the culture in hip-hop, where it lost its competitive edge and all the rappers became friends. And of course, the culture that Khaled kept pushing to find any success ended up pushing Kendrick to make rap more competitive than it has been in years with Like That in the first place. And so in this time where rap has moved past this awful era and competition is back and guys actually want to prove that they're better than one another, and even beyond this, while we once saw Khaled sadly get Grammy nominations for Best Rap Album in the past, which really just looking back on it captured how sad of a place hip-hop was once in, we now have seen with the Grammys this year that this era is even over, and again, all because rap is pushing its creatives more than we have seen in a long time, and not the garbage stuff like Khaled and Drake were doing. Ultimately, what we are seeing in this time where Drake and Khaled are just embarrassing one another is that while Drake may be right to not help someone who didn't help him during rap's greatest beef and when he took the biggest L a rapper ever has, by Drake now not trying to push these same old garbage albums that do nothing to move anything forward, no matter what his intentions are for doing it. In a way, he is also pushing his own downfall further, because right before our own eyes, without Khaled, the entire Drake era of hip-hop is vanishing even further, because if Khaled and Drake are no longer on good terms and Drake isn't leading these pathetic...
Right there it is. This is all I was talking about. And you know the crazy thing, they probably played it like 3 times. I didn't even notice it. But there it is right there. There it is. Right there.
Because right before our own eyes. Without Khaled, the entire Drake era of hip-hop is vanishing even further, because if Khaled and Drake are no longer on good terms and Drake isn't leading these pathetic excuses of albums forward with a lead single, well then hip-hop really is in a better place than it has been in years, because we can finally say that the era of the DJ Khaled album is over. And so now with all of that said, let me know.
Yeah, man. It's over, Khaled. You're done, bro. DJ Khaled. We the best music. We the best. Come on, bro. Oh, man. You know, all right, so I'm gonna say this because I think that this is very important, right? All right, so I want to get y'all opinion on this, because this is what I mean by a lot of times we say that hip hop is a sport and we want hip hop to be, it's a competitive natured sport, like whoever has the best. But he said in this video that what makes hip hop not good is what Khaled was doing was bringing everybody together as far as making songs together. And he's saying it ultimately what he's saying, not the whole video, but what he's saying in the part of the video, that that's not good, because hip hop is at its better form when people are at odds with each other. You know what I'm saying? Not when everybody's making music together. Now, I'm gonna say this because I think that that's a hard one for me, right? Because I'm always for people, good artists making music together. You know what I'm saying? Top artists making music together. But also, I'm also for competition. But see, I think a lot of people don't take competition the same way. That a lot of artists take competition as real beef. Like, oh, you're trying to destroy my sound, because a lot of artists are sensitive about their material. You're trying to destroy my sound. I'll give y'all a perfect example, right? Lupe Fiasco battled Royce da 5'9", right? They two of the greatest lyricists of all time. You know what I'm saying? My opinion, I think Royce is better, but that's up for debate, and that's a different story. But Royce went into the battle between him and Lupe as it being competition. Lupe went into the battle like, no, you're my enemy. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was one of the reasons why Royce lost the battle, is because he didn't look at it from that point of view. So Royce came out of character and was like, yeah, he did a whole joint. Was like, we were supposed to have been friends. Like, you really coming at me like that, all crazy. I what if I broke, you know what I'm saying, choked you up or something like that, he said. So the point I'm making is, it really depends on who we talking about making music together. You know what I'm saying? Because you got good artists who will make music together, but some artists are better when they are in a competitive nature. And I think that the era of Khaled is kind of trash. I'll be honest with y'all. He had a couple of joints, but for the most part, it really wasn't. I just didn't really feel it like that. You know what I'm saying? I always thought Khaled was a joke. You know what I'm saying, to me? I always thought he was a joke. Not him personally, but the way he set things up was a joke. You know what I'm saying? And then I also think that he took a lot of credit for people's work. Even though, I mean, he put together something. It's like me, I don't know. That's like me not me getting a collection of beats from somebody, all different type of beat makers making beats together, and then I say I'm the host of the album, and I take credit for it. My new album, check my new album out. The beat heaven, and I didn't make no beat on there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. But let me know how y'all feel about that. All right, man. I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye.